Hi, Darby Reviews here, back with the third Halloween special collection video. If you want to write in the comments on a horror movie suggestion, write it down on the comment selection below. Alright, enjoy the video. Starting off with my favorite franchise of all time, Evil Dead, in 4K, which technically my Xbox S is a 4K player, so technically I don't have one. But since I'm a huge fanboy of this franchise, Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, the greatest film of all time, and the Shout Factory edition of Army of Darkness, which is out of print, I guess, because I saw it for like $159 on Amazon. I have no idea if it's really out of print or not, but, well, if you're stuck with the Army of Darkness regular Blu-ray, that's fine too. But this edition is definitely worth it because it's got 3 versions, or 4 versions, Director's Cut, TV International, and then the theatrical, and I prefer the theatrical cut. I've not seen the international slash TV cuts yet. I even have Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, which sadly is left on a cliffhanger, which kind of bums me out. I have Saw, all 7 films, Jigsaw, the supposedly last one, but they're making one, well, it's been delayed probably till next year. The classic 1960s Psycho, which I don't have the sequels for, which I really need to get. Get Out, pretty good movie. I didn't like Us that much. Not Saw. Scream 4, Scream 3, Scream 2, which is underrated, and Scream. All directed by Wes Craven. Rest in peace. But another Bruce Campbell movie. Kind of wish it was on Blu-ray, but probably won't be. Man with the Screaming Brain. It's a low-budget movie, but I doubt it would be ever on Blu-ray. But Tales from the Hood, very underrated movie. This is a must-watch one if you like the stories type of thing, like Creep Show and stuff. Shocker, another one by Wes Craven, very underrated. My brother actually really liked this one. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I know some people don't like this one as much. I don't have the sequel. I plan on getting it. People Under the Stairs, very underrated. And it's by Wes Craven also. Deep Blue Sea, not technically horror, but it's more funny than scary, but particularly one scene. But Return of the Living Dead, it's a really good one. And then I have this like 6 movie pack. Closets, which was not good. Memory, which I think was decent. Darkness, Deadlights, Prophet Games, and Momentum, whatever it's called. I don't care. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 40th anniversary Blu-ray. Classic. If it wasn't for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there'd be a lot of, I don't know. Eight-Legged Freaks. I wish this was on Blu-ray. I really do like this movie. I saw it in theaters when I was a kid, so yeah. The classic Jaws, the movie that made Steven Spielberg huge. Definitely worth watching even today. It's like over 43 years old, 44, 45. Yeah, 45. 1925's Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, I actually really like this one. even though that there's no talking, there's like just music and the speech thing. But man, the Phantom was really ugly, and this version I think is the best version of the Phantom of the Opera. Shaun of the Dead, really funny movie, funny horror movie. Monster House, a underrated movie because nobody really talks about this movie that much, and I kind of need to upgrade it to Blu-ray. But yeah, it's a good kids horror film. Godzilla is actually considered a horror movie, so that's why I have it here. This is the Criterion Collection. I haven't even opened it yet. I need to get like a bigger screen TV. Mama, I think this movie was actually pretty good for being a movie from the 2010s. Not many movies from the 2010s are very good these days, but Drag Me to Hell. I plan on getting the Shout Factory edition. It was out of stock and out of print for a little bit, and now that it's back, I have to wait until maybe like November or something to actually order it because it's like not in stock until like November or something. Jack Frost. It's a horror comedy. This one I have some nostalgia for because I would always go to Blockbuster and see the cover, and it was like a reflective VHS and the DVD of the first two films. I don't have the second one. The second one is pretty bad, but this one is actually watchable. Don't take this one too seriously. I mean, it's a horror comedy and it's Jack Frost. So, yeah. And Final Destination 1 through 4. First one's good, second one's good, third one's great, fourth one's terrible, and the fifth one was pretty good too, considering. Cat's Eye was a pretty decent one. It has 3 stories, and oh boy, the infamous sleepaway camp. If you have not seen this movie, I will not tell you the ending. Oh boy. And we have Carrie, which is more of a sad movie than a horror movie, as my brother said. It's kind of, you feel bad for the character. Yeah. Masters of Horror. Vincent Price, 3 movies. The Bat, House on Haunted Hill, and The Last Man on Earth. I wish I had more Vincent Price movies. Like, I wish I had a 3D TV so I can watch the House of Wax, because the original, well, it's not the original, but the 50s one is like the best one out of the 3 ones that we had. We don't talk about the 2005 or whatever one that was, 2003, 5, whatever that one was. That one sucked. Avoid this version of Night of the Living Dead because I already made a video on this. The quality of this Blu-ray is horrible. It is garbage. I mean, the movie is great, but avoid that. Revenge of the Spaceman. I still need to actually watch it. One of my friends is in this movie, so yeah. The Shining, the classic. I know Stephen King wasn't a huge fan when he did it, but when they made this movie, but it's still a really great movie. Yeah, there's like maybe like 15-20 minutes that could have been cut out of there, but whatever. Doctor Sleep, had to get it because it's a sequel, and it was actually really good. A really good sequel, actually. Jeepers Creepers 2. Yeah, if you all know, the director is a creep, so yeah. I have not seen the third one, and my mom watched some of the third one, and she said it was terrible, and hesitant to watch the third one. And Basket Case, I just recently got this one. This one holds a special place to me because Basket Case is one of the first horror movies I ever remembered watching. So, yeah, my dad and his best friend Scott would we would have like a movie marathon or something, and he would have like a whole bunch of like weird movies that we would watch, and this is one of them, along with Evil Dead. So yeah, this is one of the first movies that I ever watched that I remember that was a horror movie. It's not the it's not a cinematic masterpiece or anything, but it's still worth watching. It has two sequels which I've not seen, and I plan on eventually watching those two movies because I mean the original one was a classic to me. It holds a special place for me. Um, Leprechaun, the was it 7 movies that they have in here? Let me see. Uh, can't remember. But anyway, Leprechaun 1 isn't a masterpiece. It's still pretty good. Leprechaun 2 was pretty good. Leprechaun 3 was good. Leprechaun 4 god awful. Leprechaun back was it Leprechaun in the Hood, pretty bad. Return to the or Back to the Hood, pretty bad. And that was the last time we saw Warwick Davis, unfortunately. And then they made a remake called Leprechaun Origins, which was god awful. I don't. That movie was terrible. And this one I have not watched yet. Leprechaun Returns. I see that the ratings are actually higher than the original one, which is shocking. So maybe this one will actually be semi decent. You're next. I feel like this one is really underrated. Um, Outside of like the opening scene where the two people are, having sex in the beginning, they did not need to add that in there. But really solid film. Uh, Motel Hell. I just recently got this, and this is recent, like a recent release. Steelbook copy. This is a classic. My dad loves this one. I like this one. My mom likes this one. If you've not seen this one, you should definitely check it out. Um, Now we're going in the Universal Monsters. Creature of the Black Lagoon. I had to pay a lot of money for this one actually, and now it's like cheap, which kind of sucks. But this one has 3 movies in it. Oh, by the way, Creature of the Black Lagoon is really underrated too. It was like the last of the Universal monsters. The Wolfman, I think this has... Okay, it has 7 films. The Mummy, I think it has... Okay, it has 6 films. All these are really classic and definitely worth watching. The Invisible Man, especially the first Invisible Man. Frankenstein Collection. The first 2 movies are amazing. The Bride and, of course, the original. And also Wolfman. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. That's a good one, too. Bela Lugosi as Dracula. Classic. It has 6 films. Let's see. It has Dracula's Daughter, Son of Dracula, House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, Albert Costello meets Frankenstein. Some of these have the same stuff in it, so you might get the same disc if you wanted to get all of these. Just to let you know. Dead Alive, aka Brain Dead. Oh boy, this movie. It is definitely one of the goriest movies of all time, and one of the funniest. I have a blank DVD that's like, like the Blu-ray and DVD are like out of print and so expensive, so I just got it off of like YouTube and put it on a blank disc. That works fine because this VHS copy I'm still gonna keep because it's probably worth money anyway. But they actually cut like a lot of stuff out of it, like a lot of the gory stuff. The movie's still pretty gory, but they really cut out some of the stuff. They even cut out like 10 minutes of the film, I think, that was on here. Mania Cop, a really underrated one. And one of my favorite actors of all... Well, he is my favorite actor of all time, Bruce Campbell, And also Tom Atkins, who is really underrated himself because he's been in a lot of good horror movies. Um, Even had cameos from like Sam Raimi and other people that worked on Evil Dead, and it's just a really fun horror movie. It's a fun horror movie. It's not meant to take too serious. And then we have Mania Cop 2, almost as good as the first one. It could have been. It was like fairly close to being better than the first one, but there was a few issues. But it has the guy from one of the 007 movies. I can't think of his name. It was like Robert something. And we have Mania Cop 3, which I recently did a review on. It was okay. There was like I like it, but it's just it didn't have the music from the first two. It didn't have some of the actors from the first two movies, except for the Robert guy from 007, which he is really good in the movie. I feel like I feel like him and the Doctor were too. The romance was really corny, and it just some of it felt like filler. And the guy who's the maniac cop, Cordell, was not really in the movie that much. So, I mean, usually the third movie, messes up. But I need to get a Blu-ray of this one, Bubba Huptep. This is a classic one. It's not really scary, but it's got Bruce Campbell in it. It's got what the heck is his name? Ozzie Davis, and it's got cameos. This is the guy who made Phantasm. So yeah, it's low budget, but you can't help but love the film. And the Twilight Zone, the complete series on Blu-ray. I mean, I had to get it because it's the Twilight Zone. It's a classic, and it definitely deserves a 9 out of 10 on IMDb for sure. My favorite episodes, Talking Tina. That is one of the best episodes of the Twilight Zone. I think I paid like $50, $60 for it. I mean, this is the whole thing. I mean, I bought like season 1 on DVD for like $5, and then I was like, I picked this up, and I was like, I have the whole thing now. Phantasm, again, very underrated. In the second one, all of them are really underrated in my opinion. But Phantasm 1, great film. I feel like maybe like 10 minutes could have been cut out of there, but there was a lot more footage that they had apparently, and they kind of used it for the fourth film, which was pretty smart that they didn't destroy the extra footage that they had. But Phantasm 1, great film. Phantasm 2, great film. However, they had to recast the one guy, and some people were not happy about that, which is okay. It's understandable. And it feels more actiony, you know what I mean? Like, it feels more action than horror. I mean, there's still horror elements in there, but it feels more action. It's still a really good film. Reggie was really great in this film, and unfortunately, this is like out of print, so you're gonna have to pay like 40, 50, 60. I can't remember the last time I saw the price for the Phantasm 2 online, but for the Shout Factory edition one, it's really expensive. Phantasm 3 is pretty good too. And they actually got the guy back from the first movie, and Phantasm 4 was supposed to meant to be the final one, but they waited. What was funny is they waited like 9 years for the sequel, and then they waited like 6 years for the next one, and then they waited 4 years for the next, and then they waited like 16 years for the last one. But anyway, this one is good, but it could have been better. Phantasm 5 was kind of disappointing in ways because the director, Don, did not direct this one, and it was low budget, like really low budget, and you can tell. And some of the shots seemed kind of, I don't know, not cinematic like the other ones were. You know, it's not his vision really. I mean, and also there was like a lot of confusion in there in the story, and you don't know what's real or fake anymore. Um, but I guess it's a satisfying ending, I guess, because they can't make any more because the tall man guy passed away, Angus. So they can't make any more. I mean, they can make comics, which I would love to buy, but Creep Show. Definitely check it out. Stephen King and George A. Romero do an excellent job. It's like the fun, scary movie because you're having fun while being scared. That's what they say. Um, Not really that scary, I guess, but if you don't like roaches, then you're not gonna have a good time with this one. But um, it has I'm trying to think how many stories it was. I think it was like 4 or 5. But yeah, definitely check this one out. And I also have Creepshow 2. Not as good as the first one, but still pretty good. Um, I don't have the one that is called. I don't have Creepshow 3 because that one doesn't. I pretend that one doesn't exist. I haven't even really seen that one, but it was made for DVD anyway, and it looked like dog crap. So not watching it, so I don't count that one. The Exorcist. This is a must-watch movie, classic. Yes, there should be like maybe like 20 minutes cut out of the film because it does seem a little slow at first. Um, if you've not seen this movie, what are you waiting for? Uh, Day of the Dead. Unfortunately, I don't have these in the right order right now, but oh well. Day of the Dead, classic Romero movie. Dawn of the Dead. This for some reason is like really expensive on DVD even. Uh, Blu-ray you would have to pay like $200 for. But DVD is expensive too. But definitely this is a classic. Dawn of the Dead. A lot of people consider this one of the greatest horror movies of all time and one of the greatest zombie movies of all time. But honestly, I think it's this one. Night of the Living Dead, the Criterion Collection. This is the version you should get. That not that Mill Creek one that I showed you earlier. Get this one. This one is worth your purchase. And this also had the first time they had a black lead in a horror movie, really. You know, so definitely pick this one up. The Chucky Collection. It's a limited edition one. Child's Play, great. Child's Play 2, underrated. Almost as good as the first one. Child's Play 3 was okay. Bride of Chucky's okay. Seed of Chucky was bad. Curse of Chucky was actually pretty good. And Cult of Chucky was okay. It's not the greatest. I have the Nightmare on Elm Street collection. And this one I have signed by the guy, Mark, from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Really nice guy, actually. This has 1 through Freddy's Dead. Not that terrible remake, because that remake was awful. Trying to get in order. Halloween collection, 10 disc. I don't have that 15 set because it was really expensive. This includes Halloween 1 through 4, and then Halloween 5 through Resurrection. And then they have Rob Zombie's Halloween and the other Rob Zombie Halloween 2. And actually own The Curse of Michael Myers, the producer's cut, because this set only had the theatrical cut. The 15 set has like a deluxe version where you have the TV cuts, the extended cuts and all that. And then I have 2018's Halloween. And I can't wait for the next one, but I have to wait like a year, which sucks. Evil Dead, the 25th anniversary, of course I have it. I even have a DVD of Evil Dead. I even have a VHS of Evil Dead. I have a steelbook of Evil Dead, the original. I have a VHS copy of Evil Dead, the original, but I don't have a DVD version. If I had a Laserdisc, I would definitely get it just because. Freddy vs. Jason. I saw this movie in theaters when it came out. Over time, it doesn't age as well. Like, the characters you really don't like. But, and then Friday the 13th, the Killer Cut. This is the remake. I actually thought this one was decent. Friday the 13th remake was not bad. It just didn't have likable characters. And there was maybe like 2 things stupid about the movie. But overall, it's about 6 or 7 out of 10. It was not bad. However, these 2 fucking movies. Oh man. Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. Ooh, Jason X in space and Jason Goes to Hell. Both really bad movies, as you can tell. That I would only upgrade these if on Blu-ray, just on Blu-ray for collection purposes, but these are not good movies at all. Yeah. There's multiple problems with that. And I have Friday the 13th, the 8 movie collection by Paramount. I do not own the Shout Factory edition because it's really expensive and I heard there are issues with the disc. So I'm not going to pay $100 and something for a collection that could be faulty. Even though I would like to have it because it has Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X on Blu-ray. And the first 4 movies are new 4K or 2K, whatever, 4K restoration, and there's more special features. And I do like the box art, but I'm not going to get it. The first 4 movies, good. The original didn't age as well, but 2 through 4, great movies. 3 is my favorite. 5 is overhated. Honestly, a decent movie. 6 is campy, but it's still great. 7 fell off because the sensory and the psychic powers thing, and 8 really I have a love-hate relationship with Manhattan, but I don't know. The first 4 movies great. 5 is underrated and overhated. 6 is great. 7's okay. 8's not very good. Candyman is kind of underrated. Some people either love it or hate it. I don't know why some people hate it. This is a Shout Factory one. Really good acting from Tony Todd, so, and the music is great. Definitely worth checking out. American Psycho. I really like this movie. It's funny. It's more funny than scary, but if it was a real person, yeah, that would be fucking scary. But yeah, if you've not seen this movie, definitely check it out. And this one, I should upgrade to Blu-ray, but Street Trash. This is one of the movies that my dad's best friend was like, oh, it's one of the best movies. I don't know about best movie, but it's definitely an entertaining one. It's one of those weird ones. Stephen King, of course. Pet Sematary, the original. I mean, the remake was okay. This is a classic. The underrated Wolfman. I know some people hate this movie, but honestly, I don't understand why it's hated. I know it's a remake. People who tend to hate on remakes, not all of them are bad. I mean, like, we have The Blob, The Fly, The Thing. So those are better than the originals, and those are considered some of the best horror movies ever made. So yeah, a silly but a silly horror movie, but Ice Cream Man. I own the DVD, and I never plan on getting rid of the DVD because, for one, it's like $30 for it's $30 for a DVD. This is a Blu-ray version. Pretty good transfer, I guess, and actually the DVD version cuts like 10 seconds of the film out. Like, they cut some of the gore out, which is weird. Another classic one, Poltergeist, the movie that was cursed. If you don't know about that story, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's kind of hard to see, but actually have the band who did the theme song to sign it when I went to go see them play. So I was really happy about that. It's just another silly horror movie. It's really cheesy, but if you have somebody who's afraid of clowns, definitely show them this one. But I guess this one kind of doesn't classify as horror, but it kind of does. The Mummy trilogy. The first two movies are good. The third one kind of sucked, mainly because of the recasting. But Silence of the Lambs is a classic, an all-time. This is one of those movies that everybody quotes. I need to upgrade this one to at least DVD or something. But Hannibal on VHS, and also I have Red Dragon. I need to upgrade that to Blu-ray. And then I have the sort of Manhunter. It's part of Hannibal Lecter, but it's not the Anthony Hopkins. The original 1990 It. The 2017 It. Unfortunately, I don't have part 2 because every time I go online, they're out of stock and they're always used, or they're like the price range is insanely high for some reason. But Congo, I kind of need to upgrade it, and this has Bruce Campbell in it in like the opening scene. I do have regular Blu-ray of Army of Darkness, which is nice, but the Shelf Factory edition's better. The Thing. A lot of people love this movie. I don't think it's the greatest horror movie of all time. It's definitely a great one, but I don't know. This is a regular one, not a Shout Factory edition one, so I don't know the difference in the quality. I mean, the cover for the Shout Factory one is really nice, but I don't think I'm going to plan on getting that one. But this one is 25 horror classics, and this has Dead Man Walks, The Mad Monster, The Town Where No One Gets Off, The Coffin, Gotcha, The Emissary, The Fatal Hour, Little Shop of Horror. Pretty sure that's the one with Jack Nicholson in it. One Body, Too Many, Blossom Friends, The Way to Do It, Hijack. There is One Born Every Minute, Maniac, Parson's Pleasure, White Zombie, Black Dragons, Frankenstein, Crystal Egg, Completely Foolproof, Swamp Woman, The World Gone Mad, The Beast of Euclid Flats, which was terrible, Heist from Space, An Appointment from Mars. I've seen some of those. And then we have the 12 film zombie movies, which has Carnival of Souls, Dead Man Walk, Horror of Zombies, House of the Living Dead, King of Zombies, The Last Man on Earth, Mutant, Night of the Living Dead, which is the 60s one, Oasis of Zombies, Snake People, Teenage Zombies, White Zombie, and we have AMC Monster Fest Collection. It's called Collections Volume 1. The Atomic Brain, The Brain That Wouldn't Die, Carnival of Souls, Night Tide. Had to get some of those classic ones. Omen. I wouldn't say it's a great franchise, but the first two movies definitely worth watching. unfortunately, the packaging, as you can tell, it's really horrible. There's a Shout Factory edition that has the fourth movie, which I forgot about. I would get it, except for the price. It's like $50 or $60, I think. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have it in a 4K new restoration or whatever, but the price range, I don't know. But the first two movies good. Three I don't remember as much, and the remake is actually decent from what I remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. Um, but yeah, this packaging is fucking terrible. Alien. I wouldn't say it's a great franchise. In fact, I would say it's a little overhyped. I mean, the first one's good. The second one probably maybe better than the first one. I think the second one might be better, but three, it definitely fell off, and four, did not see much of Prometheus. I saw like 30 minutes of it or something. It was pretty boring, and it felt like nothing like Alien. It was like a prequel or something. An Alien Covenant I have not seen, so I have no opinion on that one. And this one only has 4 of the films on here, so 1 through 4. And this is all I have for my horror collection. If you leave a suggestion on the comments on what horror movies I should get, comment below on there.